You've switched to Nintendo Voice Chat for the week of February 12th, 2026. I'm Logan Plant, joined this week just by Brian Altano. What's up, Brian?
How are you?
Doing good. I know you're a little sick, but
I
I
am.
think
I'm
I think
powering
we're
through
gonna
it.
make it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've heard me on Beyond this week, and then on NVC this morning, and then I'll be on another PlayStation show later today. Thank you for putting up with me, all of you.
Yeah, we're always happy to. Yeah, everyone's out this week. Seth's on assignment. Reb is at Dice. Jada is still at IGN. I've seen your comments. She still works at IGN. She's just too busy right now to be on podcasts, but we hope to see her again on NVC soon. So just me and Brian this week to talk about Pokemon Pokopia, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, the quarterly financials, which we're very excited to get to. But we'll start with Mario Tennis Fever, which is out today. I reviewed it. I gave it a 7. You can go check that out up on IGN. And Brian, this game is it's a Mario sports game. Like it's a fun Mario sports game. It doesn't quite take the steps forward that I kind of was hoping and thought it was going to based on the really great trailers that they were putting out ahead of time. And that comes down to just a lot of the single player content being ranging from fine to really, really bad at times. And so it's just kind of like what you expect from Mario Sports. If you have friends to play with, if you want to play online, it's good. It's a really good time. But if you're looking for anything beyond that, you're not really going to get it here.
Does it feel to you like this has sort of been like the running theme with Mario sports games for quite a while now, where I think that like it was the exception, not the rule, that they had really great single player campaigns back in the day, but there was just enough of them to kind of set the bar high where people just were like, why isn't this as good as it used to be? Because it feels like every single time this is the story, right? Like mechanically, they're awesome. Visually, they're fantastic. They're just fun as heck to play. And then you're like, okay, so what do I do as a single player? And it's like, well, not much.
Yeah, it's interesting because tennis games specifically have only ever had like a RPG single player mode on the handheld ones on Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, and those loom very large in a lot of fans' minds. They're legendary campaigns. They're pretty basic RPGs, but they're just really unique because you play as your own character and you work your way through this tennis academy, and then the final boss is Mario, and that's just such a cool idea for a little handheld Mario Tennis experience. And then with Aces, they're like, okay, we're bringing an adventure mode back. It wasn't good. It just kind of lacked all that RPG flavor that people wanted. It focused a lot on like boss battles with tennis mechanics. You're like hitting a ball back at PD Piranha, who spits it back out at you. And this is a lot of the same of that. The adventure mode is only about 3.5 hours long, and the first hour and a half of it is just one of the most mind-numbing tutorials I've ever played, where you're playing as Baby Mario because everyone except Daisy gets transformed into a baby because Daisy has the Mario Tennis fever. She literally is sick in bed, and you have to go get this fruit to heal her. Is the setup of this Mario Tennis campaign? It's very bizarre.
Did we know? I mean, you previewed this a while back, but did we know like early on that there was a titular fever to this
No,
game?
we
Like that,
didn't.
I didn't, because when you read that on a video game, you're like, okay, that's just a funny. It's like, I got a fever. The only answer is more cowbell or whatever. Like you don't
Yeah.
think that someone is actually sick in bed and can only be
Yeah, and
saved by
it's
the
like,
power of
Mario,
tennis.
aren't you a doctor? Like, can't you just whip out the pills and cure Daisy? You have to go find this magical fruit to heal her sickness instead. Very weird setup. Anyways, it's just this 90-minute tutorial where like you're mashing through this text about, and here's how you hit a topspin shot, and it's just telling you what it is. And then you play these mini games, which are fine. They're pretty boring. They feel like, I don't know, Baby Mario take on mobile games. Like there's one that's a lot like Temple Run, where you're just kind of like running side to side, hitting the coins that appear on the track. And they're fine. And then you play just the most ridiculously easy qualification matches where you win in like 5 seconds. And then eventually you leave the academy, and it's kind of what Aces was. It's 2 hours of boss fights and a couple tennis matches, and then it's over. And it's just like not, I think you look at the trailer and you're like, oh, this is going to be really expansive and big and cool. And then everything you saw in the trailer, that's the entire adventure mode. They showed you pretty much everything. So if you're a solo player looking to come to this for that single player Mario Tennis experience, it's just not really here.
Which, with games being $70 now, that's kind of and also like, historically not really getting deep price cuts ever if you're a first party title. That's
Yeah.
kind of a big ask. And I don't want to keep bringing that elephant into the room, but like people have to make these decisions now. And if you're predominantly a single player gamer and you're looking at a game like this, like that's something you have to weigh and calculate when you're thinking about buying your next game, right? Like they got rid of their voucher system, they got rid of their gold coin system. So that money is real money. There's no shortcuts there. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Now, like there's a ton of characters in this game. Was that at least fun for you to kind of unlock them all and go through that?
Yeah, this one's really a tale of two games because we just complained about the single player stuff. The tennis is really fun, and it is some of the most fleshed out that it's ever been in a Mario sports game, and I think that is great. There's 38 characters, and Baby Wario is actually my favorite one. He's only been in like one game ever before, Yoshi's Island DS. I
Yep.
don't think he's ever showed up again, but he's in this. And Baby Waluigi's been getting all the hype online, but I love Baby Wario. I think he's just a little freak. He's hilarious, and he's super powerful. He's got his top spin shot charges up in like half the time as every other character. That's his little unique trait. Every character on the character select screen, you can hit X and see something they have that nobody else has. Like Boo's super curvy serves, or Rosalina has a lob that flies like from side to side of the court. She's also a tricky character, and that's Baby Wario. So the characters are awesome. And then the fever rackets are really cool too. There's 30 of them. And it is just fun to kind of mix and match and see all the different things that these do. Like there's this golden dash racket, which has been one of my go-tos, where no matter where you are on the court, if you hit the shot button when your opponent returns the ball, you just like slide over to it instantly. So you're just like sliding all over the court at like rapid speed, and it's just really fun and party mode and gimmicky. And I think that's like super fun for four people to get together. Everyone picks a different fever racket, and you'll just have a blast. And then somebody wins because they're not super balanced, right? Like
Right.
they just aren't. It's very much a party game. And then you go, okay, let's switch it up. And then you pick four different fever rackets, and the other team will win. And that's a great time. So if you want just that party Mario Tennis experience, this is one of the best it's been. That's just kind of all there is.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I mean, I like you said, like if you're here for, if you're not here specifically for the single player, there's probably enough in here that it's worth it for you, right? And like
Yeah.
it looks like it plays really great. I haven't dug in yet, but yeah, I do wonder what the future of like the sort of Mario sports games are, because I don't think that it's a good plan forever to just have sort of just like a very thin single player campaign, and then some really fun online and offline and local multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think ultimately like they need to find a way to kind of meet both sides of that and make it better for consumers, because I know that when I sit down with a game like this, like I want something that's longer than 3.5 hours, and I want something that's kind of deep. There's obviously so much you can expect, right? Like I will say that giving one of the characters an actual fever is deeper than I expected, so I will give it I will give it credit there. But yeah, we'll see. Because I mean, they still alternate between, occasionally there's a soccer one, occasionally there is a golf one. Like they kind of gave up on Mario baseball, and basketball was like
heartbreaking.
a kind of a one and done, right?
There was two of them, and the second one never even came out in Europe because there's just not really baseball over there.
No,
Yeah, which is a bummer.
you helped me put together like a list of the top 40 Mario games last year, and we tried to include a bunch of games that were basically anything with Mario in it, right? Puzzle games, sports games, action games, platformers, all that fun stuff. And yeah, there's a surprising amount of sports games. They will keep making them forever. People keep buying them. So yeah, I hope there's a future for them, and I hope that, like, it would be really cool to see some more even like mild RPG elements return in a single player campaign for something like this.
Yeah, I do want to shout out one mode that I would like to see be the way forward for future Mario sports games, and that is Trial Towers in this one, which we're actually seeing on screen right now. It is basically, you remember like events from the old Super Smash Brothers games?
Yeah.
Where, it's exactly that. It's this
man.
menu of 100 different events. And it's like, okay, you're going to play as Luma, and you're going to play against a Luma who is invisible, and you need to score 500 points on ring shot, go. Or you're going to play as Wario and Waluigi, you're going to play against two bloopers who are both wielding the ink rackets, so you're not going to be able to see anything, win a 5-point match. And there's 100 of these challenges, and then within those challenges, once you reach a certain point in the game, you unlock a achievement mode for them, where it's that same setup, but then it's like, now never lose a point, and don't use your fever shot, and don't dive for the ball. And if you do all three of those things, you get a perfect score.
That's
and then
awesome.
It's great. Like, it's a really, really strong mode, and I think that should be kind of the focus, I think, moving forward, is just go all in on that, because that's what you want from this, is mixing up these tennis matches and points. Take all these ingredients of rackets, characters, courts, and just make me do different things with them.
I already really love the looks of that Waluigi pinball court. I love that just started as a Mario Kart level and just keeps returning in weird ways.
That's his entire personality.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm a creep and I like pinball. and I'm tall.
Yeah, and that's all you really need to know about him. Yeah, I played as Baby Waluigi versus Waluigi a lot on the Waluigi pinball court. You
He's
just,
like,
you just
my
gotta
son.
Yeah, or no, it's just
Or
him
not.
aged down. We've talked about this before, and now it's a new take on Baby Mario in this game. It's
Well,
just
that's
them
been, not to get
transformed.
off topic, but that's been some of the theories with the Mario Galaxy movie, because there's like baby versions of him there, and they're like, is there time
Yeah.
travel? Is there like a wormhole?
Weren't there just flashbacks in the first one where we saw
That's what I thought.
Baby
I mean,
Mario briefly?
I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. I don't have the answers, Logan. I
No,
really
people
don't.
love to theorize. Yeah, I did want to. There's a lot of unlockables too in Mario Tennis Fever, which is cool because Aces tied a lot of it to your online. And it's like you need to play every month to unlock this new headband for Boo. Literally, that's like what it was in Aces. But this game, it's all tied to single player stuff, which is really cool in theory. Like it's like a GameCube game. You just play and you unlock stuff as you go, and that's great. But what's not great is some of the modes that make you do that are just terrible. Like there is one where we saw it on screen a little bit ago, where it's this just brainless CPU standing in the middle of the court, and these piranha plant cannons shoot tennis balls at you, and you have to return that tennis ball and make sure it's out of reach of the CPU swing, and you have to do that 40 times in a row on the hardest difficulty, and you're just like standing there waiting. It takes about 3 or 4 seconds for the piranha plant to shoot the ball. It shoots it. If the computer's standing at the net, you lob it. If they're standing far back from the net, you drop shot it, and it takes 4 minutes around, and it's just miserable. And you have to do that a few times to unlock some of the characters and rackets, and it's just that's why this game was kind of tough to score and think about, because it's like the gameplay is awesome. They just don't really know what to do with it, and that's just the biggest disappointment.
Do you think they'll add content to it?
I don't know. They really did with Aces. They added a lot over time, but this game has more than Aces did at launch. So I'm not sure. This might be a complete product. They might be working on Golf next, because Camelot does both of those series. I think that I don't know. I don't really know what you would add. There's enough characters. There's enough rackets. So that's the important stuff. I don't really see them adding a bunch of different modes. I think that the modes that are here just aren't all that great.
I mean, maybe they'll do something for Switch 3 for $20, or like an 8K upgrade pack or whatever.
Yeah,
I know
there's good
those.
online also. There's monthly tournaments which reset your rank at the start of each month. There's rooms you can hop into with 2 people on the same Switch and kind of pair up with 2 other people to just play casual doubles matches. So there is online stuff too. There's game share, so you can play locally and kind of beam your game to somebody with a Switch 1, kind of like DS Download Play was back in the day. So if you like the tennis, lots to do here. I do think the tennis is fun. We're seeing a banana racket on screen right now, where when you use your fever shot, it just scatters dozens of bananas on both sides of the court. It's that Mario Party kind of party game feel. So it's a lot of fun. You brought it up earlier, Brian. I do want to talk about the price. I just can't recommend this at $70 when Kirby Air Riders is $70, Donkey Kong Bonanza is $70, Mario Party Jamboree on Switch 1 is $60, and there's way more worthwhile stuff to do there. I just think about like the variable pricing thing they talked about last year when Mario Kart was $80, and so they came out with this term to kind of explain that price point, and they pointed to the depth and replayability of the game, and they said, well, Dragon Drive's $20 and Welcome Tour is $10, so it's okay that Mario Kart is $80. I don't see that carrying forward here, because this game, I'd be so much higher on this if this was $49.99 or $39.99, because that to me is more where it falls.
Which, I feel like modern Nintendo doesn't experiment with that sort of gradient on publishing different price ranges, right? Like they do it for sort of smaller direct to eShop games, right? Like there's like Dragon Drive and stuff like that. There's smaller like indie shaped and indie sized games that they'll publish for a much lower MSRP, but like it is kind of odd. And again, like you and I have been talking about Switch 2 prices and Switch 2 software prices since literally the first day we worked the Switch 2 preview event. Yeah. And it's impossible to ignore. It's the, elephant in the room. I don't think it has to dominate the entire conversation, but it is definitely part of it. Like it is definitely one of those things you have to consider. And like when you laid it out right there, the amount of games that you can get that, if you are looking predominantly for like a big meaty single player game, you can get a lot more at that money than you can for, something that you're kind of one and done with the campaign in 3.5 hours. So yeah. It's odd. It's odd. And I feel like if you're the biggest tennis fan in the world, then I guess I'm a little. I actually don't know what you would be playing these days, because I don't live in that world at all.
Topspin? I don't know.
Topspin is do they still make those every year?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess you'll find something here that you like. But yeah, man, it's a lot of money these days. So yeah, if that's what you're interested in spending, then I hope that you get the most out of it.
Yeah, and it's like I've seen some comments online just talking about the price and the adventure mode and saying, well, I don't care about the adventure mode. Great, then this is totally for you. It's still a 7 out of 10 product. That, like, I love the core tennis, but it just does get a little old after a while because it's just a lot of the same thing. Where I think about a Jamboree and it's like there's 7 boards, there's 100 mini games, there's a bunch of different side modes. Like there's so much to do in that game that can get you dozens and dozens of hours. It's like this. I see you invite friends over, you play maybe tennis for 20 minutes, and then you move on to Mario Kart or Smash or something that's just has more staying power than this does. Because the core tennis is great and a lot of fun. That's it. And I just think for $70, that's really tough for me to swallow because I look at Golf Story. Did you play that game, Brian? That game is
I did.
Excellent. And it's like $20.
When you were talking about like sort of the old RPG roots in some of the Mario sports games, like that's the first one that came to mind because that feels directly linked to those old games, right? Like that is absolutely honoring that old sort of ideology and also just building on a straight up excellent spiritual successor. And so, yeah, I loved Golf Story. Like that's the kind of game I would love to see more of from Nintendo these days, right? Like taking a single player mode, maybe not necessarily at that scale, but meet in the middle split the difference between like a 3.5 hour single player campaign and something as cool as Golf Story.
Yeah, for sure. Last thing I want to shout out is that the computers actually put up a fight in this game, which I do appreciate. They're not total pushovers. Like the hardest difficulty, Ace, I can't always beat them. Like they're really, really good. And there's like 6 different difficulties. And yeah, that one's really tough. So I do like that there's actually some difficult computer opponents if you are playing alone. Not in the single player campaign, but if you're just setting up matches, they do get pretty tough. So yeah, that's Fever. I think it's fun. I think I'm already pretty much done with it because I also like how Aces plays a little bit more. That game was like a fighting game at times, and this one's much more like a party game. I'm curious to see what other people think when they get their hands on it. Brian, I know you're going to play it, so maybe you can come back in a couple weeks and we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about Pokemon in just a second, but first, related to Pokemon, if you want to be the very best like no one ever was, you can streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon filtering by type, ability, or Pokedex, then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Play to your strengths by analyzing your team's resistances and vulnerabilities, or really maximize your Poke potential. I just got signed out of my Google Doc by digging into the stats, and this is a really cool website. Go to planetpokemon.com. It's IGN's new website that we just launched where you can look at Pokemon from across all the different generations and build your team. It's super cool, Brian.
It's really cool. Yeah. This is one of those things that not to toot our own horns, but like IGN's been making like really cool strides on the guide side and with interactive maps and all that fun stuff. And this is one of those things is just next level to me. So yeah, go check it out.
Thanks for watching this clip from Nintendo Voice Chat. Be sure to catch the full episode over at youtube.com/IGN Games. New episodes of NVC drop every Friday on IGN Games, IGN.com, and your favorite podcast platforms. With the Nintendo Switch 2 finally here, there is so much to dive into. We appreciate you tuning in, and don't forget, NVC is the only place you can get the thing.